So we're really close to the end here, my friends. We've pretty much reached that part of the year where we start to wrap things up. So I really want to take just today to reflect back on some of what we've done over the last year and just consider some of the things that we've learned and maybe think about some of the things that we would like to have learned, right? And figuring what is possibly coming up next for us, in the coming year since we still have a little bit of school left here. So, my friends, my focus with you was to just really make sure that everybody here was able to stay creative and try something hopefully new for you. Music is one of those creative outlets. There's never necessarily like an end, like you finished your work. It's one of those sort of things where you can continue going and going and going whenever you're feeling inspired. Now, for some of you, maybe you found that you weren't really into it that much. Some of you may have said, wow, I didn't know I could do this stuff, and this is kind of cool. And I really hope that you were able to get something out of it that you had not really thought was possible before. But, let's take a look at some of the things that we've done this year. We've learned how to program music on DAWs, which is a digital audio workstation, over on BandLab at the beginning of the year. We took a look at loops. We took a look at drum machines. We took a look at how to record our own stuff as well. More recently, we took a look at actually how we can sequence and use that piano roll and put the little block and make our own sort of things that way too. We checked that out, of course, with the Mission Impossible theme, all over on BandLab. So that's a really powerful program that you guys can continue to use. Even though your account was made and signed up for our class together, I'm not deleting your account. Your account will stay there. You can go in there and make stuff whenever you want. So hopefully a few of you guys really found that interesting. If you weren't that into it, that's all right. We did a few other things. Of course, we talked about actually how to play the keyboard. Hopefully everybody here was able to learn at least a tune or two. We took a look at things like Mary Had a Little Lamb and Jingle Bells and Sakura. A number of different songs that we, started to learn on the keyboard. I know not everybody's lucky enough to have an actual piano or an electric keyboard at their house. But remember, as long as you have a touchscreen, you can do it. It's a little hard on a phone, but if you have like an iPad or some sort of a tablet or any sort of a laptop that has, a touchscreen on it, you can make music and mess around. It's a nice little thing to do when you have those feelings of I have nothing to do. You always have something you can do, and that's one of those sort of things. There's a ton of resources over here on YouTube from a lot more than just me that you guys can learn some different songs on. And also with that, if you can't find a tutorial on a song that you like, we talked about ear training. We very, very, very lightly scratched the surface on that. Probably would like to have talked about that a little bit more. That's one of those things where we can train our ear to hear things that we don't think are possible. So if you hear a song, you can sound it out. If you hear a song and you're like, I want to learn how to play that, just hum it to yourself, listen to it, hum it back. If you can even just match pitch in your ear, that's what ear training is all about. You don't have to be the world's greatest singer to figure it out, and then go over the keyboard and mess around and figure it out. And from there, you guys can learn any other instrument, which is what I want to talk about next. So you guys are all going off to your next grade, hopefully next year here, right? So for my 7th graders, I'll be seeing you guys again next year when you're 8th graders. Hopefully we're going to be back to a situation where we can all be in the same classroom, and that we will have some music classes that are dedicated rather than just being here in these videos on these Padlets, which I want to applaud everybody who's done the good work here. And of course, next year, if you're with me, we're going to do a few different things. Some of the stuff we've done here, but also there's a lot more opportunities. I do want to get the band going back up again here. So if you're interested in playing the flute, the clarinet, the saxophone, trombone, trumpet, or even if you're not interested in it, but you like a little bit of a challenge, I highly recommend that you guys consider it. I'm really looking forward to working with some of you guys on that next year. So if we come into next year and you see me on your schedule, come in with a really positive attitude because we're going to have a really good time. Some days are going to be tough. Some days are going to be easier, but we're going to have fun. And for my 8th graders, guys, I'm going to miss you. I've been able to watch you guys grow up right on through 6th grade here. And some of you who came a little bit after 6th grade and we're only here for a little bit of time, it's been a pleasure to meet you too. Really want to thank all the time and effort you've put in. For those of you, my old band students here, that, we did get kind of robbed of our, basically half of our time together because of the coronavirus here. Just remember, if you enjoyed band, the high schools have options. So just keep in mind, if you're going off to Central High School, Mr. Dandurand over there, I worked with him before I came to Kylie. He has a very robust band program over there. If you're interested in doing drums, he's got percussion ensemble classes that are specifically just for learning to play the drums with nothing else going on. So if you're in band with me and you're like, wow, he spends all the time on the wind instruments, there's classes that are specifically for drums there. And through that or through the band class, you guys can get into the marching band, you can get into the jazz band, and there's some really awesome opportunities. They go on a lot of field trips. They do competitions. There's a marching band program that is pretty stout. It's pretty difficult, challenging stuff. You learn to do the halftime field show. You have to go to all of the you have to go to all the home games for the Central High School football team, for free, and it's awesome. It's a really great time. It's a really good experience. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. And through that, you can even get included into playing, instruments during the spring musicals for the drama department, because they do have a really pretty solid drama department over there too. They do big plays on the stage over there. So if you go to Central, you got a lot to look forward to there. And if you have any questions, email me anytime, and I'll help you get set up with that. And if you never played an instrument in band before, and you're like, well, I kind of want to start now, they also have a starting band there. And so does Sci Tech. If you're going to Sci Tech, Mr. Bernice over there, he's got a really great program going. It's a lot of people. If you go to Sci Tech, probably about a quarter of each one of your classes can be people that are in the band program, because just so many people do it. I think there's something like 400 to 500 students over there that are in the band program. Even if you've never played an instrument before, they will take care of you. The music, it's not necessarily the super most challenging stuff in the world, but there's a great brotherhood and sisterhood, a good friendship sort of community over there. So if you're going to SciTech, I highly recommend joining band, at least for 1 year. 2 is really what I suggest. If you do it for 2 years and you're not into it, totally fine. But if you do it in 1 year, you really can't necessarily become a pro in 1 year. I'm not going to lie. So give yourself 2 years with it. Really give it a chance. If you're going to SciTech, that's a good option. If you're going over to Putnam, take a look at some of the options they have. I know they're looking to add some musical technology classes, kind of building upon like some of the stuff we talked about here on Band Lab, but on a little bit more fancy level, since the high school, that's the money to buy the cool programs rather than the free ones we got to use here. So there's some really good opportunities there. If you like making beats, check that out if you're going to Putnam. If you're going to Commerce, Mr. Bertuzzi over there has a nice little smaller band program. Really, good group of people that everybody kind of gets along, good friends. They have this nice little room down in the cafeteria, including if you're going to Springfield Honors Academy, you can also take the classes with Mr. Bertuzzi there as well. Now, if you go down there and play band, you get to do some jazzy music, some concerts here and there, a little less demanding of a program than you'll find over at Central or at SciTech, but it's still, you get a nice experience with it. He teaches to do anything, I believe, some guitars and drums right on through the trumpet and the saxophone, all that. So if you're going over there, check that out as well. I believe there's also some keyboard classes at Commerce as well. So Springfield Honors Academy, Commerce students, check that out. If you want to build on your piano skills, but actually have someone in the room to help you through, do some more music, that's a great option. Of course, if you're going for the Conservatory of the Arts, that's obviously a school that's gauged towards the related fine arts, whether that's, art in the traditional sense, like painting and drawing and anything like that, right on through dance and music. So if you're going to do for there's going to have a band program. There's going to have a number of different music programs. It's a bit of a newer school, so I'm not totally familiar with everything they have to offer, but definitely give it a chance, guys. You're going to have some fun with it, and think back to what we've talked about here. Use that as, your groundwork. That's your foundation. With a good foundation, you can go up from there. If I missed any of the other high schools here, my bad, but there's some good options out there. If you decide to join, a music program in high school, I highly recommend it. If you decide to join chorus, which most of the high schools do offer as well, you'll be able to sing. You don't have to really bring anything other than a good ear, a good attitude, and your voice, all right, and to keeping yourself healthy. If you join a band program, some of the band programs, most of them are going to let you borrow an instrument from the school. Take care of that, because it's a valuable piece of equipment, but it's also the vehicle to have such a good time. So really hope that everybody going off to high school continues with music in some way, and I hope that you guys build upon some of the stuff we did here. Now, enough about the future. Let's talk about today. Over here, I have a post here on the Padlet with some exit ticket questions. They're reflective back on the whole school year. Okay, so I'm going to ask that you guys think back to some of the stuff we've gone over. Maybe you missed a week. Maybe your teacher didn't give you the link 1 week. If you ever need to go back and take a look, you guys can always click on the top of this video here and go over to my YouTube channel. You can click, my name down there, and all the videos that we've done this year are in there. So you can go right on through and take a look, see if you can find those answers. Sometimes it's better than just Googling it, The idea of this is just to help, remember everything that we've done, kind of bring it back, freshen up in your mind, so it doesn't just kind of just go away and be forgotten about, all right? So, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this school year at least a little bit. It's definitely been weird. And I want to just thank everybody who's participated right on through. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. And, enjoy your summer. Best luck in your future. Some of you guys I'll see next year. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to have a good time. Some of you guys going off to greener pastures. Remember us here over at Kylie, and have some fun off there in the future. So thank you, everybody. And I will see you guys next time, whenever that is. All right. So make sure you answer these questions, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.